I am live. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me today. I am your host, Lou Perica, and I am a success mindset mentor. So, I want to explain the reason and the purpose of these classes is to raise your level of awareness of the greatness that is in each and every one of us. So we were all, every single one of us were all engineered to create and succeed, but we were never really taught about our mind, how our mind works, and about the pre installed mental tools that we have. We were not taught how to use them so we can create a life of meaning. We've been conditioned since early childhood, and we've been conditioned to believe many things that simply are not true. And what we tend to do is we put our lives in the hands of outside conditions and circumstances, which ends up leaving us powerless and we become victims of our outside world. And what we tend to do, and guilty right here, I did it as well, we attend a lot of webinars, seminars, workshop, classes like this. We read books on how to become better, how to become successful. And we keep gathering lots of information during our lifetime, but we don't really know how to put all the pieces of the puzzle together. We learn something here, and then we learn something here, and oh, I really love what they said, and oh, I'm going to try that. But we don't know how to bring it all together. So that's what I do. I show people the missing piece of the success puzzle. And these trainings are designed to help you know who you are and how you operate. So today's class, Are You Attracting What You Want or Don't? Piggybacks off of last week's class, which was How Your Thoughts Become Things. So again, I'm going to mostly recap on last week's. Oh, I just got a little message. I'm going to recap. I hope you can hear me. If anybody's watching, will you just let me know? I'm getting a little note. You can just shoot something in the Facebook. Anyways, I'm going to recap off of last week's class. And last week I introduced the stick person. And you may laugh at this, but this is very powerful. And this stick person is you, it is me, it is your partner in life, it is your children, it is your in laws, it is your clients, it is your employer, it is your employees, it is every human being. And this is something you should really master. And that's what I'm helping people understand how their mind works and how the creative process works and how your thoughts actually become things. So last week, all right, let me just put this down. Last week, the class was about the analogy was you creating your garden. Your thoughts are the seeds that you plant in your garden. You are the gardener. This is the conscious part of your mind, the thinking part of your mind. This is the master control knob. This is you. This is where you get to create your ideas and thoughts. This is where you get to accept or reject ideas. So last week we were talking about this part of the mind where we can create our thoughts or the seeds that we want to plant in the soil, which is the subconscious mind. And the seed that you the seed that you plant in the soil will, once you start nurturing it with action steps, with decision, with faith, with persistence, will start to have your body move into action. So you can start doing the things that you need to do to bring that idea into physical form. So I use the analogy of this little acorn. You've seen it many times, and I'll tell you, repetition, repetition, repetition. And I say that word all the time because that's how we start to change the way we've always thought. That's how we start to shift our thoughts. It's how we start to shift our beliefs. So this little acorn, again, you look at it, you don't see 100-foot tree, beautiful tree. You just see this little tiny acorn. But within this acorn is a seed. Within that seed is a planned program. When this acorn makes its way into the soil, right? Here's your thought going into the subconscious mind, into the soil. When this acorn goes into the soil, it will start, the seed has a vibration in it. Everything vibrates, and the vibration sends out frequencies. Okay, so when this acorn goes into the soil, the seed is vibrating that planned program. And what it starts to do, it starts to attract all the nutrients this acorn needs to start sprouting. So the earth is responding to that vibration. And this is why when you hear about the law of attraction, the primary laws are really the law of vibration and the law of resonance. So this, you might be able to have a better understanding. So that planned program, that seed has a vibration in it, and it will attract everything it needs, all the nutrients from the soil, again, to start sprouting roots. As this acorn starts to grow, it will come above the surface. And again, it will start attracting everything it needs from the atmosphere. So the same thing is with us. It's all about vibration. Okay, so I'm going to bring back my stick person. So again, I'm going to recap a little bit about this guy or this person as I did last week. Since no one's ever seen the mind is activity. It's a verb. It's not a noun. It's nothing you can touch or see. But there was a doctor back in 1934, Dr. Thurman Fleet, who was in the holistic field, and he said, we have a problem in this country. We're always treating the symptoms instead of going after the root cause, which is the mind. But we don't have an image of the mind, and we think in pictures. If you didn't know what a picture of a key was, for an example, and I was trying to describe this key and what it does, but you don't have an image of it, you are not going to develop cells of recognition. So when we always talk about the mind, but you don't have an image of the mind, you're not developing cells of recognition. So you don't have clarity. There's confusion. When we bring in this image, and again, this is a little silly image, but it's extremely powerful because I am now giving you an image for you to attach, for you to start having your cells develop an image of the mind. Okay. So this is the larger part. This is the mind here. This is the body below. The reason that the mind is bigger, the circle is bigger, is because that's where the power is. But because we don't see the mind, we tend to put all our attention on what we do see with our five senses. And we see our physical body. So we believe everything that we can see, hear, taste, and touch is the power. And it's not in here because we cannot see our mind. So last week I was saying that the top half of this part of your mind is the conscious mind. It's the thinking mind. It's the educated mind. Okay. This is the master control knob. There's only one mind, just like there's only one sun. There's only one mind. Oh, hold on. I'll let you know at the I'll put in a link for somebody who's inquiring about how do they get one of these. So there's only one mind, there's only one sun. Our mind is an extension of that one mind. This is your mind. This is your part right here. This part is the universal mind. This is what connects you to everything. So here you get to pick and choose your ideas, you get to create in here. This is the servant. This is the master control knob. This is the servant. This bar I refer to as the guard, the gatekeeper. All right, because when we have a thought, let's just say inflation, recession, all the things that we hear. What I do, reject, reject, reject. There is abundance everywhere. There is abundance everywhere. See, if this gatekeeper does not reject, what will happen is those ideas, because we hear them over and over, repetition, over and over, every time you turn on the TV, every time you're listening to the radio, every time you pick up the newspaper, every time you have a conversation with the neighbor or whomever, those messages are going into the soil. They're going into your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind must accept what you put in it. It does not have the ability to reject. It cannot determine the difference between what is real and what is imagined. It believes what we tell it most, and it must create it. It has no choice. It must prove you right, your thoughts. It must prove you right. So this is the servant. This is the master controller. This is why it's so important to really think about what you are thinking about all day long. But what happens is this is 96 to 98% of our results, because this is all habit. This is where all our programming is. This is where all our beliefs are. And this we are running on autopilot the majority of the day. This part of the mind, the subconscious part, is efficient. It helps things it helps our day go easier. Like, for an example, we don't have to learn how to tie our shoes over and over. We learned through repetition. That seed was planted in here, the subconscious mind. We got it. We got it. You don't have to relearn it every time. This is why repetition is so important. So within our subconscious mind, there are paradigms. There's a section in the subconscious mind called the paradigms, and this is where our beliefs are. This is where our habits are. And again, some of them are good, some of them are not good. It all depends what is serving you and what is not serving you. Okay? So just like this acorn, okay? Again, the seed is vibrating in the universe, which conspires to help us. The universe has our back. The universe is responding to that vibration that's being put out by the acorn. The universe responds with the like vibration, the like frequency. Okay? That's what the law of attraction is about. It's the vibration. It's not because I want something. It's the vibration that you're putting out. This is why when you want to be a mega agent, a top producer, you must believe that you are. You must create the image here, plant the seed in the subconscious mind, and become and act as if you are that top producer, that mega agent. Because the universe, the subconscious language is vibration, it's emotion. I said last week that emotion is energy in motion. It's energy in motion. There is a power that flows to and through us always. This power, this energy is omnipresent. It's everywhere at all times. This energy works through the mind. Okay? The human experience is made up of the mind and the body. That's what the human experience is. For an idea or a thought that comes out of, that's a nothing thing, right? We can't touch it, it's invisible. For an idea to come into physical form, it must go through this process. It must go through this process. So here's the thought. We have it in here. We're thinking about it. We're thinking about becoming a realtor, for an example. We're throwing it around in the mind. Yeah, maybe, maybe not. Then we start to get emotionally involved with the idea. We start to really think about serving people, maybe being, again, a luxury realtor, just, selling high-end properties. We start becoming emotionally involved. We must create the image in the subconscious mind, because your current self-image is in the subconscious mind. There's already an image here that the subconscious mind will follow through. So if you think that nobody loves you, you never can find the right relationships, there's a lack of money, you can never find the right job, blah, blah, blah. That's what will come to you, because you are vibrating that. You are vibrating that through your body and sending it out, just like the acorn. Everything that exists has in the universe what it needs. It will attract what it needs to prosper, to grow, to procreate. Everything is all planned. You just need to be the vehicle for this energy to produce something in physical form. So I often say that, the mind is the instrument. It's just like a light bulb, for an example. So here's the energy. If you think of it as electricity, this electricity just is. It's impersonal. It just is. It's electricity. However you choose to use it is what it will produce. If you think of yourself as a 40-watt bulb, nobody loves me, I can't, I'm broke and, lack, scarcity, fear, that's what will be produced. That is what will be attracted to you, because your body is constantly vibrating that energy. That vibration is being sent out, and the universe responds to that energy with like energy by altering your circumstances, conditions, and environment. So if you think, woe is me, and recession, the gas, food prices, et cetera, lack, scarcity, fear, COVID, all of this, you start to bring in, or you start to attract the same frequency, the same vibrations the universe sends to you, the same. It's just matching. It's like playing match game. It's simply matching up. It does not matter to the energy what you choose to do with it. I often say, just like electricity, you can use electricity to cook a dinner, or you can use electricity to cook a person. It does not matter to the energy. It's the instrument it flows through. So this is why you are the master of your thoughts. You get to control what you think. You can accept or reject ideas. Many times, many times what we do at the end of the day, I think you can all identify with this. Oh, we've had such a long day at the office or wherever, and we go home and we have to do whatever it is that we do, cook dinner, eat dinner, and then we just want to chill out, right? We just want to chill out, and we put on the TV. We don't want to think. We don't want to think, right? We don't want to think. We just want to chill out. So what is happening is the guard is asleep, right? You're not rejecting ideas. You're watching the TV. The information is going into the subconscious mind, because it does not have the ability to reject ideas. It does not know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. So when you go home and you're just chilling out and you're watching the news, or you're watching a lot of self-deprecating comedies, or you're watching a lot of murder shows and etc., right? Things that are all really kind of negative. That's what the subconscious mind, that's what you are planting in here. This is why we become fearful, because our environment supports fear. It supports negativity. So this is why, I just have something here. Um, so the power that flows through us, again, I want you to think of it as electricity. This power throws through our thinking mind, and we get to create ideas and dreams, right? We impress the idea or dream. I'm just following my chart here. Um, we impress the idea or dream into our feeling mind, our emotional mind, right? And we get involved with the idea. The emotional mind, which is energy in motion, is connected to the body. When you think of something, everything that we think of is expressed through our body. It could be words. It could be facial expressions, which I tend to do. I use a lot of facial expressions. But now I've learned, when I see that, when I see it on someone else as well, I can tell what they're thinking, right? If someone tells you something and you go, it means like, yeah, that's nonsense, right? Because the body will express what the mind is thinking. That's what the body does. It's the vehicle for the mind to express itself. So, so energy in motion. So emotion is energy in motion. It is expressed through the body. This is what causes the body to change its state of vibration. If you are fearful, if you're thinking lack and scarcity, the body typically, like, it's fearful, right? You start worrying and doubting things, and your body vibrates that. The universe responds to that vibration, not necessarily the words, but the vibration, because words, again, they can be just words. It's the relationship and the meaning we give to the word, but it's the vibration that we're feeling, which the universe is responding to. Um, when our action changes, the universe reacts. So it's action, reaction. The reaction is what gives us our results. The universe alters our conditions, our circumstances, and our environment, giving us our results. Again, fear, scarcity, there's not enough. This is when the bills seem to just really pile in. This is when people are looking for more money from you. This is when, the prices seem to go up. You're just so focused on lack and limitation. And this is what keeps you're attracting that. The car breaks down. Maybe you knock out a tooth. That's going to cost more money. So all these things, or maybe you get sick. Again, the energy is expressing itself through the body. Maybe you get sick and now there's extra doctor bills. But when you start thinking, when you want to become that top producer, the subconscious mind must believe it. You must, because you cannot outperform your beliefs. You cannot outperform your self-image. So what my mentor told us to do is the actor's technique. And what that means is, so right now we have an image of who we are. And this image of who we are was handed down to us. We believed what other people were telling us since we were a child. So when we were a baby, right, this guard keeper wasn't here. This whole part really wasn't here. Everything went into the subconscious mind. Everything went in here. All the beliefs, everything we heard around us from parents, from neighbors, from church, from school, was all planted in here. So the first 7 years of our life, we're in a hypnotic state. We didn't have the ability just yet to start rejecting. We didn't really think for ourselves. So all of that was planted in the subconscious mind, all those paradigms, all those beliefs, all those habits, and our self-image is in here. So it was handed down to us. We didn't even ask for it. It was handed down to us. So this is why when you want to be a mega agent, a top producer, and you feel like an imposter, that's not true, because that is who you desire to be. That is, you are choosing to be that. This is the imposter because you had no choice of this self-image. You get to choose. So how do I do that, Lou, right? Well, up here, we have some mental tools. I'm going to just touch upon them. We have the most miraculous gift, which is the imagination. The imagination takes us away from what we know, takes us away from logic and reason. It makes us think bigger. This is why having a big goal is so important. It's getting us out of what we know day to day. The imagination says, grow, grow, grow. We have the will. These are all mental tools that we have in our mental toolbox. We have the will. That is the ability to focus. Focus on your goal. Forget the distractions all around you, all the social media, the Facebook, this, that, and focus on what it is that you really, truly want. We have the ability to think. It's the highest function we're capable of. Our memory is in here. Sometimes we work, what do they call it? Reverse engineering. Start from the end. Start from the end. The reason most of us don't want to go for the big goal is because we don't know how. None of us know how. We figure out the hows as we go along. But with reverse engineering, if you picture yourself as a mega agent, a top producer, whatever it is that you want to be, and think, how did I get there? What were the steps that took me there? Just like Steve Jobs says, you can't connect the dots going forward. You can only connect the dots looking back. So use your memory for that, not for things that do not serve you. Oh, when I was a child, I was abused. When this happened, nobody liked me. All of that stuff, you're using your memory against you. And your intuition. Your intuition is super powerful. Those are your emotions. You always know when you are in alignment with your higher self because you will feel it. When you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, whatever that may be, you feel it. The guilt, right? There's reasons for emotions, and it's guiding you. They're constantly guiding you. And when you feel bad, when you feel whatever, fearful, it means you are out of alignment with your truth, with your higher self. You are falling victim to the outside world, and that is not who you are. So with the actor's technique, Bob Proctor used this example, and it was really powerful for me. I want to share it with you. So imagine that you're in a play or you're in a movie, and you're with a couple of other actors. Everybody knows their lines. They know what to say, right? Let's say your affirmations. We use that for an example, an analogy. Your affirmations, you know the lines that you have to use in this play or in this movie. You know where you have to be. You're dressed the part, okay? Just like if you were being thinking about being a mega agent or a top producer. Okay, Lou, I'm dressing the part. I'm saying my affirmations, yada, yada. You must embody. You must embody and truly step into the energy of that role. So again, we have 3 or 4 actors on a stage. Everybody knows their lines. Everybody knows where to stand. But one person simply is repeating the lines and is standing where they're supposed to stand. The other two or three actors have embodied the character. They've become the character from the way they walk, the way they dress, the way they eat, the way they speak. They've really become that person. And that's what we need to do for to have a quantum leap. To have a quantum leap, you must step into that energy of the person that you truly want to be, but you must truly desire this, because your desire must be stronger than your excuses. If the desire is weak, any obstacle or any challenge that comes along, you will give up. And again, like yesterday when I said with a carrot, we know it takes about 70 days for a carrot to grow. We know it takes a rose bush about 4 to 6 weeks to grow. Our dream, there is no gestation period. We do not know, but it is the creative process. That is how everything comes into physical form. Um, is there anything, I just want to go over, I'm just looking at my papers here. Just want to, again, I mentioned the paradigms, right? These beliefs in the subconscious mind. And here are some of the things that a paradigm controls: your beliefs, your habitual behavior, your self-image, your logic, your income, your use of time, perception, productivity, emotional reactions, and memories. Again, I've done this before, it doesn't work, right? Or you keep going back to memories that are not serving you. So I hope this has helped some of you. For the person who is asking, I don't know who it is. I will put this on my Facebook profile. I'll put where the website that I got this. This is honestly the best thing that I've ever learned. And again, this is everybody. I was talking to a realtor the other day, and the client was fearful because prices were going up or interest rates, and it was going to cost them another couple of $100 or something like that a month. Understand, this is what's going on. Because she became fearful, she pulled out of the deal because she was thinking lack and scarcity. See, the emotions that that person was feeling caused the body to take action. The action was they pulled out of the deal. When you think abundance, that everything always works out for me, when you have faith, this is the vibration that you are putting out there. And what will happen? Good things come to you. Good, maybe she didn't have the extra 200. Maybe she gets a raise. Maybe, I don't know, somebody leaves her some money. Maybe she finds some extra money. But this is what happens. It's the vibration that we're putting out, the law of resonance. It's a law. It's an immutable law. This is how things work. So I hope that helped you. I just wanted to let you know as I wrap up, I am starting a new group for my Thinking into Results program. We are going to kick off the beginning of January, but you must be signed up by this December, mid-December. If you are interested in learning more, reach out to me, because we're going to have this group, and groups are much more powerful than working one-on-one. So if you're interested, please join us. Most of us are going to be real estate professionals. I'm retired, but I understand I understand what you guys go through. So if you're interested, reach out to me and learn more about this about the program that's going to be starting at the beginning of January. When you're starting your goals, understand what the purpose of a goal is. Don't just set a goal for the sake of setting a goal. You must understand what the purpose of a goal is for. I thank you again for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will catch you next week. Thank you.